Guys, have you ever looked in the mirror and seen something off, like it's you but not quite right? The whole doppelganger thing really freaks me out. Throughout history, people have had these crazy encounters with their lookalikes, and some of them are straight up terrifying. So buckle up, because today we're diving deep into 10 real-life doppelganger stories that will leave you sleeping with the lights on. Let's kick things off with a super creepy story involving Abraham Lincoln. In 1861, Lincoln had just become president. He was chilling in the White House looking in a mirror when suddenly he saw his reflection split in two. One Lincoln looked normal, but the other was pale, washed out like a ghost. Lincoln told his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, about it, and she was convinced it was a death omen. She even said seeing your double meant you wouldn't live to see the end of your term. Now that's some seriously spooky stuff. This next story comes from 19th century France and stars a school teacher named Emilie Sagée. Emilie had this weird thing where her double would just appear next to her. Students described seeing this spectral twin mimicking Emilie's every move. Walking beside her, sitting next to her, even grading papers. It's like, what was this thing trying to tell her? Or, even scarier, was it trying to take her place? This one is next level weird and involves Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, the famous German writer. Goethe was walking down the road one day when he saw someone riding towards him. His exact double, wearing clothes he didn't recognize. Years later, Goethe found himself wearing the exact same outfit his double had on, traveling down the same road. Was it a glitch in the Matrix? A time loop? This story comes from a woman named Fiona, and it really makes you question everything. Fiona was walking home one night when she saw someone who looked exactly like her mom inside the house. The thing is, Fiona's mom wasn't supposed to be home. Fiona freaks out, slowly opens the door, and the second she steps inside, the figure vanishes. A few minutes later, Fiona's real mom walks in through the front door, totally oblivious to what just went down. Was it a ghost? A premonition? It's enough to make you want to install security cameras in your house. We're about to get royal and creepy with this next one. In the Elizabethan era, Queen Elizabeth, I saw her own doppelganger sprawled across the bed next to her, pale and lifeless like a corpse. Throughout history, seeing your own double has been seen as a really bad omen, like a sign of impending doom. This one's for everyone who's ever had their phone die at the worst possible moment. A guy got a call from his wife one day. She sounded super upset, like she was crying and scared. He rushed home expecting the worst, but when he got there, his wife was totally fine, just chilling at home watching TV. She insisted she hadn't called him. Later, the husband found out someone saw his wife walking outside earlier, looking totally out of it, like she was in a daze. But his wife swore she never left the house. Mirrors are already creepy enough, right? But this story takes it to a whole other level. A young girl, Anna, woke up in the middle of the night and saw something terrifying. Her own reflection was staring back at her, but it wasn't just mimicking her movements, it was moving on its own. It smiled at her, made faces, and basically just freaked her out. Anna screamed, and the reflection grinned even wider before disappearing. She never looked in that mirror again. Have you ever felt like you were in a place before, even though you know you haven't? This story takes that feeling to a whole other level. A guy went to visit his grandmother. She turned pale as a ghost and told him that he just missed himself. She swore he was just there, standing in the exact same spot, but he was adamant that he had just arrived. This story is about a teenager named Jake who was home alone one night. Jake was watching TV when he saw something out of the corner of his eye. He looked up, and there, staring at him through the window, was his mum. Jake's mum wasn't supposed to be home for hours. He ran to the door, threw it open, and no one was there. Jake was totally freaked out. His real mum walked in through the back door. This last story is about a woman named Sarah who went to the grocery store one day and saw her best friend Jessica. Sarah called out to her, but Jessica just turned and walked away, disappearing down an aisle. Sarah called Jessica, but her phone went straight to voicemail. Later, Sarah found out that Jessica wasn't even at the grocery store. She was at home, sick in bed. That night, Jessica was in a really bad car accident. Doppelgangers, man, they're like walking, talking mysteries. Are they just tricks of the light, weird coincidences, or something more? Are they glimpses into other dimensions, messengers from beyond the grave? After hearing these stories, I'm definitely sleeping with one eye open tonight. If you ever see your own double, don't ignore it.